Good morning, my dear students. I welcome you all for the social science classes. I hope you're all doing great and taking care of yourself. I hope you do have the knowledge in social science. We do have the branches that you are studying in 8th standard. They are history, economics, political science, business studies, sociology and geography. These are all the branches through which we are going to study the social science. Today I am going to deal with the business studies first chapter, that is management of business. Children, what comes to your mind when we do say business? It may be a small business, it may be a big business, it may be a commercial, industrial, trade, professions. There's so many. So it is a business is the work or the profession done by a person. Before discussing, let us understand some of the terms that what we do come across in the business studies. They are enterprise, entrepreneur, course, employer, employees, business. So business, you should have the knowledge what is this business. Maybe many of your parents, they are dealing with business. Is a person's occupation, trade, it may be commercial, industrial or professional activity. And talking about enterprise, a company, business or organization. A company, it may be a company, big, small, it is a business. And an enterprise, an organization. And with the person who is going to deal with this enterprise. Entrepreneur, a person who organizes and operates the enterprise. A person who organizes and operates a business or enterprise. So, enterprise and entrepreneur, there is a, or we can say that enterprise is a company, entrepreneur is a boss or the owner of that company, in simple words. Now, coming to the employer and the employees. Here, employer, we do talk about the person who is going to have that company, as I told you earlier, the boss or owner of that company, and the employees, the personals or the subordinates who they are going to work under the employer. So these are all the terms we do come across in the business studies. Now let us come to the lesson. Business studies here mainly which deals with the activities of the business. In this chapter we are going to learn about management of business. What do you mean by management? How they are going to carry out the business. Management, how they are going to manage, how they are going to carry out the business. Here management is used to refer to the principles of managing, principles, what are the rules or through which they are going to run their enterprise or the different activities to which of an enterprise. So you should remember the meaning of management. Management is used to refer to the principles of managing the activities of an enterprise. I hope you got the idea. So how an entrepreneur is going to carry out the different activities in an enterprise. I want all of you to understand the terms so that you can write the answers correctly. Here, so it may be a small, it may be a profit-making enterprise, it may be a non-profit making, it may be an industrial, it may be a commercial and a service sector. Children, I hope you have the knowledge. There are three sectors of economy, any nation. Primary sector, agriculture and all the agriculture based activities. And we do have the secondary sector. All the raw materials, whatever we do get from the primary sector, it's going to convert into finished products. All the, we can say that finished products we are going to have, or the industries. It may be a small industries, manufacture, large, everything. All the industries comes under that and the last one is the tertiary sector. It is called as the service sector. Education, financial institutions, all the service-based organization or the enterprises is all we do find under the service sector. So, primary sector have this knowledge, primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. So, all the activities of all these three sectors which we do find in one or the other kind of business. One or the other kind of business whichever we do find in the three sectors. Primary, secondary, tertiary. Now, how they are going to manage that we are going to understand in this chapter. So, let's see what are the principal functions. What are the principal functions? Before, let us understand one of the economics have given one of the definition like management is an art of getting things done through. Management is an art of getting things done through other people. Children, you just imagine, just the boss or an employer, can he carry out or manage all the business? He wants some subordinate, he wants his personnel, he wants his employees to carry out all his work. Or whatever the idea or the plans we do have to carry out in his business, there are some other, they should assist him. The other employees should be there. All this word is, remember, employees, personnel, they are going to assist him so that he can achieve whatever his goal, target, and he can get the good profit, isn't it? So, the employer going to take the assistance or the help of the other employees to carry out his business. So, one of the definitions, you have to remember this definition given by J. L. Haynes. Management is an art of getting things done through his employees, other people. Now, if you are going to understand all this, from what we can draw the conclusion here, management is nothing but it is planning, it is organizing, it is coordinating, it is at the same time controlling, directing and staffing. Here, so these are all the principal functions what we do find in the management. What are the principal functions of management? Planning. Yes, how to carry out that, they have to plan, they have to chart the plans. And organizing, they have to organize that in a systematic manner. And staffing. Staff, as I told you, how many employees they should have, how many subordinates they want. So, how many kind of, and what is their criteria through which they want to appoint those staff. And directing, giving the direction. That's also important. And coordination. There should be coordination between the employer and the employees. That should be the great bond. That should be the great, we can say that, coordination between the employer and the employees. And the controlling. Controlling the whole enterprise. Controlling the whole management. So that is, these are all the management principles. That's very, very important. You have to remember what are the principal functions of management. What are the principal functions of management? Let's go to the next important topic. This chapter, that is principles of management. Principles of, these are the functions. These are the principal functions. And these are the principles of management. So you have to remember all this so that you can write the answer for 3 marks question. Many times it comes for 3 marks also. So let's come to the first one, division of work. Division of work. This is one of the side heading which comes for 2 marks many times. So what do you mean by division of work? As I told you, there is an enterprise, there will be an entrepreneur, boss will be there, and under him there will be so many other subordinates including different persons with a different designation, different posts, through which they have to work in coordination. And here there will be other persons, in the middle there will be other persons will be there. So there will be the work will be divided between the different employees. Mainly the work will be divided on what basis, children? Mainly depending upon the person's skill, whether he is efficient to do that kind of work. If you go to any of the firm, I hope I will give you one of the example. I hope you must have been visited to Nandini Milk Dairy. There if you go inside, just if you enter and if you see the work assigned to the different people there, different work is assigned or done by different people. It may be depending upon their capacity, their skill. Now you may ask me this question: why? What is the need to have the division of work? All they as they do, they will understand and they will do their work in an efficient manner. Why? Because there will be efficiency, there will be more productivity, more profit on the part of an entrepreneur, and at the same time we can say that there will be good rapport between all the employees. So division of work is designed in an enterprise mainly depending upon the skill and the capacity of that person, and depending upon that they have to carry out their work. So that is called as division of work. Division of work. Next one, authority and responsibility. What do you mean by authority here? Authority, that is the enforcing rules. Authority enforcing rules. As I told you, that should be a great bond between the employer and the employees. That should be good relationship. So what he is going to? He is going to give the rules. He is going to give the authority to different employees. Different work will be assigned. As what we do see in an organization, children. Different designation, different people they will have. And talking about some of the very big firms, companies and all, that will be different designations. MD, manager and that, this and so many designations what we do find. And that should be transparency. They should be given the clear-cut responsibility rules and responsibility. So authority, rules and the responsibility. Everything should be clear-cut. The guidance should be given by the head of the organization, head of that organization or enterprise. Next one, discipline. Children, discipline, as you all know that children, discipline is the core of our life. Without discipline, we cannot lead a healthy, good life. That's very, very important. Disciplined life. Here, that is the substance of life. And at the same time, when we talk about any of the organization or an enterprise, there also discipline is very, very important. Whatever the work assigned to the different employees, they should carry out that work in a disciplined manner. Always appreciable, isn't it, children? Disciplined people are always, we do reward them, we do appreciate those people. That's the important principle, the management. So discipline through which it's not only the employees they should have the discipline, children. The employer, the boss or the superiors. So the superior, the subordinate relationship, discipline also plays a very, very important role there. That is a very vital role what we do find in the success of the organization or any enterprise. So that should be discipline between the superior and the, does not mean that only the employees they should have the discipline on their part. Oh, should have. Then only there will be the healthy relationship, of course, in all the spheres of the management. Okay. Next one, unity of direction. When we talk about an enterprise, on an entrepreneur, when he is going to direct and is going to give the direction to his lower subordinates, there will be one superior line. Yes, of course, there will be different designation, different people, but it should come from one head, one person. If they are going to give direction to all these employees, there will be chaos, isn't it? There will be a disorder, there will be confusion. So unity of direction referring to one person, maybe one superior, he is going to direct all the rules and the regulations of the authority or an organization. Next one, subordination of individual interest to general use. Of course, we are going to give importance to the general interest or the accomplishment of the task or the profit or the success of that organization, but at the same time, personal interest. Each employee should be given importance in the company or in a firm or in an enterprise. That's very important. I hope you got my point. Yes. So, subordination of individual interest to, of course, each and every individual. When we talk about school, the institution, all the teachers, they do play their very, very important role, the success of the school. What kind of teachers we do have in the school, their teaching, how they are going to have their relationship with the students and their superiors, the management, all these things come together. I'm just citing one example here. At the same time, when we talk about a company and organization, how the kind of relationship for the accomplishment, for the success of that organization, all individual, that should be the responsibility. Each individual should have their own role to play there. Then only we can have the overall success of that organization. Coming to the example of the school. Next one, centralization. As I told you, the central, the superiors, how they are going to coordinate and how they are going to carry out their plan of action with the help of their subordinates. So one superior is going to give the central authority, like what we do call the central government, one of the important government, one of the superior what we do find, then the state government, how they are going to give directions to the state government, central authority, central government. At the same time, the superior, how they are going to give directions to the lower subordinates. Next one, scalar change. Next one, remuneration of personals. Remuneration, the payment for the work done. As we all know that the work, each and every individual is going to work to get something, or to get the money for his survival, to fulfill his basic needs. So if they are going to do the work and they are going to get the remuneration is the money what they are going to get for their work. So whatever the money they are going to get, there should not be any individual differences. Everything should be so transparent. It may be a big firm or it may be a small firm. That should be transparency. Whatever the salary scale, the salary given to the different employees, everything should be clear cut. It should be, the knowledge should be given to all the employees. I hope you got that. Remuneration, the money they are going to get, the salary, it may be the wages, whatever they are going to get, the reward for the work that they have done. Yes. Remuneration of personnel. I hope you got this. Personnel here, employees. So try to have that knowledge, the different terms what we do use here. Personnel also, employees also. Next one, scalar chain, superior subordinate relationship. Just now I said, superior subordinate. Superior may be the boss, the owner of that the company or an enterprise, and the other designated, other superiors under him, and after that the other subordinates. That should be the good relationship, that should be transparency. Whatever is going to happen between them, everything should be, they should have the knowledge. Without each other's knowledge, there should not, anything should not happen beyond the system. That's very important. So scalar chain, superior subordinate relationship. Next one, equity, fair dealing. That should be fair dealing. As we all know that many a times in many of the firms, in many of the organizations, what we do find, it may be in the remuneration, it may be in the salary, it may be in the wages, what we do find in the daily wages or in the agricultural sector, differences what we do find. but it should not happen. There should be equity and there should be accommodation, cooperative attitude. Cooperative attitude should be there among the common employees and the managers. Cooperative attitude. It does not mean that the boss can have beyond to the system or the rules and regulations, he can have some directions or the rules and regulations to the lower employees. It should not happen. So that should be the cooperative attitude. Remember that. Cooperative attitude should be there. And the next one, stability of security personnel. Stability. There should be. The personnel is there in the organization, is working for that organization or working for that enterprise. That should be the security of work. They should not throw him out. In the sense, they should not remove him from the job. So that is the security of work. So that's also very, very important. Talking about a person who is going to work in any of the institution or any of the firm, that should be the security. If the person is working with so much of dedication, hard work, everything, and if they are going to throw him in between, what he's going to do or what she's going to do. So that is the stability of the security. Security should be there on the part of the personnel. Initiative. What do you mean by initiative? Here, original plans. The superior or an entrepreneur, the boss, the owner of the company, should have some innovative ideas to which he can make some of the good plans to which the success of his company and overall success of all the employer and the employees. So there will be some introductory plan through which, introductory starting plans through which he can have the success of his company. And Asperity de Corps, it is based on unity is strength. I hope you know what is the meaning of unity is strength. If all they do work coordinating with that attitude, with cooperation, with the same feeling that our organization, our well-being of an employer, employees, and at the same time the development of that organization. If they have that unity, is strength. We are all one and we are working hard towards that. Definitely that organization is going to prosper, they are going to get more profit, definitely they are going to achieve success. So in this principles of management, we did study about division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, and subordinating of individual interest to general interest, remuneration of personal and centralization, scalar change, equity, stability of the personals or the employees, and initiative spirit. At least you should remember the side headings and at the same time should have the knowledge what is that. And in the college, if you opt commerce stream, you are going to study about all this in the business studies. So I hope whatever we have discussed today, you have understood, and try to read the lesson once again so that you can understand it very clearly. Thank you children, and take care of yourself.